on my way to get a caramel cortado. That's probably my favourite coffee right now. So, busy day ahead. Got loads of things to film. It's been one of those ones where the past 30 days has been extremely intense because we've had H4 launch, lots of other things that I need to prepare before I head off to my second honeymoon, if you want to call it that. So I'm heading to Dubai, heading to the Maldives. I'll be vlogging out there. Maybe I'll be able to post something while I'm out there. If not, you'll see the vlogs continue when I get back. However, Alex actually asked me a question. Now, Alex, hold this a second. So Alex asked me a question, something really important, which is, why do people get to a level where they get stuck and they just don't seem to progress? And there's a really, really simple answer. Essentially, you become limited and you don't even realise it. So what happens is, you will just work accordingly to how you think right now will be a reflection of your behaviours, your beliefs, everything else you can think of. You will just act accordingly. All the fucking birds. Right, before I continue, let's get our cortados. If you don't define a much bigger vision for who you want to become, you're going to be constrained in whatever those limitations are and these limits that you have set, because you're going to have the behaviour of someone who wants to achieve that. That's it, and that's why they get stuck. That's the point I was making. That's what I was saying to you. Like, they get stuck because you're going to, on a subconscious level, you're going to start to understand, right, this is a behaviour that I need to adopt, this is a person I need to become, and then you'll get stuck there. That's it. Nothing else will change. And then you'll just be in this loop of, why am I not progressing? Why am I not moving forward? Why have I not become, a better version of myself? It's because you don't need to. You're not required to become a better version of yourself because you've not set a vision big enough to accomplish that. Like, you're not going to be able to mold into that person or even work towards becoming that person because you've set limitations of your vision in the first place. It's like, for example, if someone wants to run, 100 meters in 10 seconds, and that's their vision. Well, that's a completely different standard that they've set versus someone who just wants to run 100 meters in 25 seconds. Well, the type of training that you would do to achieve that vision is going to be very, very different versus someone who set a vision to want to run 100 meters in 10 seconds. Now, you might be saying, well, that's top 1% if you want to run 100 meters in 10 seconds. Well, it's top 1% to be a 7-figure trader. It's top 1% to be an entrepreneur that is successful after 5 years. So you need to adopt the traits and become that person. You can't be trying to set habits and building a vision on something that's just above average, because you will just stay there. I see this with traders, I see this with business people. Whenever I ask them, what's your vision? They're like, do you know what? Yeah, I've got a big vision. I want to make more money and I want to be living this sort of life, but I'm kind of happy with where I'm at. And I already know just from the way that they say that, like, they haven't got a clear vision. They've not defined who they want to become, where they want to be. What does it actually take to get there? What sacrifices need to be made? Like, these are just old school things that need to be in place. Why am I telling you this? Well, when Alex asked me the question, it just reminded me of what we've got at the vision at Falcon, which is 100 million in funding. The reason why I set such a big goal is because I knew, starting that off, in 1 year, that's not happening. In 2 years, that's not happening. Highly unlikely that you'll achieve 100 million in funding within a couple of years. However, I set the vision so big that it forces me to upgrade quicker. And whatever that means in upgrading, whether that's my communication, whether that's me knowledge transferring, whether that's infrastructure that I build to help people get to where they want to be, whatever it is, I set that goal and now we need to mold into that. That's the difference. Where if I set a goal to achieve 100 million in, let's say, 5-10 years, it'll just be slow, it'll be casual, because the vision is too long. You need something that's going to give you urgency, but you also need a big vision on top of that as well. So what I've set for myself is, within 3 years, I want to hit that 100 million. The difference is, I'm not attached to it happening on that exact date. Like, if it happened in 3.5 years, it'd still be a phenomenal achievement. But the point being, I set a goal, 100 million in funding, which means I best get to work. I can't get sloppy, I can't get relaxed, I can't take my time. But then I've also set something that is a big vision as well, so it forces me to upgrade either my character or help other people upgrade their own character to get to where they want to be. That is the difference. You're only going to grow to as big as your current vision. I can't remember who exactly said it. I think it was Grant Cardone, and he was talking about people that worked for him that was earning, I'm sure it was like 800k, so they earn £800,000 a year. So they're not earning a small wage, but they were very content with that 800, and he got rid of them. And people were shocked, like, why'd you get rid of those people? They're earning £800,000. He said, I needed them to earn 2 million. The point being, they were too relaxed, because if they earned 2 million, Cardone earned a lot more. Essentially, he needed hungry people that weren't satisfied with a tiny, tiny goal. They had a vision that, right, 800k, that takes care of this, that takes care of that. Yes, that might be your vision, but sometimes you have to understand that you're also participating in someone else's vision. So you have to push yourself and you have to stretch yourself. And if you're around the right people, it will actually benefit you anyway. Because if you think about it, in that scenario, he wanted hungrier people to fit his bigger vision. And by doing so, you would have gone from earning 800 to probably like 1.5 or 2 million, etc. It's the mentality of what I'm talking about, of never settling. Once you climb one mountain, there'll be another mountain to climb. There'll be another mountain to climb. And it's not because that you always need more. It's because when you climb one mountain and get satisfied, and even though you might have a reason to be satisfied, you might make £400,000 a year and think, well, I live a top 1% life. There is a truth to that, but there is also a hidden sabotage that happens that, for some reason, the moment that you get comfortable and get relaxed and logically make sense of it, that I've actually done it now, I'm here where I want to be, you just get sloppy, you get complacent, you make bad decisions, and things tend to go wrong. From the type of people that I've studied anyway, I see that a lot. I'm telling you this because when you look at like super successful people and some of the old school veterans, even if you look at people like Dan Pena, as crude as he can be, he's got some old school, no nonsense, no bullshit advice, and it works. You could look at him and say, honestly, why are you even working? You don't need to work. You've got all this money, you've got investments, you've got property. Why do you need to work? It's not about that. People are missing the point. The goal in life, from my perspective, is my belief that you don't just work to get money. But that's one equation. Once you achieve financial freedom and you've got the money that you want to take care of your family, live the life that you want to live, something else has got to kick in, which is purpose. What gets you up in the morning? What makes you sharp? I would argue, because you see the people that retire early, what happens? They retire early, they've got their money, and they get ill really, really quickly. They get sick. Within 5 to 10 years, some of them pass away. It's very, very unfortunate that people have not guided these people to go, the goal is not to work your fucking arse off for 40 years for a company, then retire and chill out and think it's going to be okay. No, you need to work on becoming a certain type of individual and build a life you desire, and that's only going to happen if your vision is big enough. And if your vision is very small, well, guess what? You're only going to grow towards that vision. So the goal here is think bigger, get a pen and paper, plan a vision that makes you uncomfortable. It should make you feel scared about the vision, because that means that, right, I've got to be uncomfortable and I actually need to change. And in order for me to get to where I want to be, the current version of myself isn't going to cut it. You need to get one of these. But what you need to do even more than that is actually take action on the advice that I'm giving you. It's all well and good me telling you this is important. You're only going to grow to as big as your vision, and then you just go, yeah, that makes sense, and then you do nothing about it. You don't sit there on the weekend taking a journal and start writing it out. It's really, really simple. The current vision that you've probably got for yourself that you've written down is a comfortable vision. It's a comfortable picture of what you want to achieve. And what if I was to tell you that that comfortable picture that you've got of your vision is the very thing that is stopping you to actually grow in the first place? Your vision is too small. You don't think big enough, which means that you don't act big enough and you don't become big enough.